Hey, good morning everybody. To teach this lesson today, I'm going to go ahead and remove my glove because I don't need my glove because I don't need my left hand. And that's because this particular lesson has to do with hitting one-handed shots. You know, I get that question all the time. You see the tour players warming up on the range and they often hit shots with just their right hand. And the question is, what are they doing? Well, there are as many answers to that question as there are tour players. And so rather than getting into each and every tour player and what it is that they're working on, I can tell you what you should concern yourself with. And there are two situations in particular that you need to be able to hit one-handed shots, not just because you can take what you learn one-handed and apply it to a two-handed swing. That's not what I mean. I mean, there are some situations where only a one-handed shot will do. Let's check out scenario number one. Okay, scenario number one, you've been in this position before, and that is you're really close to the edge of the bunker. Because the flag is so far back behind me, in order to get the right footing to square myself up to that flag, I would have to step in the bunker. Well, now I've got one foot that's 2 feet above the other. I've got a lip to contend with. Now, even if I choke up on it, I've got an exceedingly difficult shot. And this is just entirely too hard to play if I have another option. And what is that other option? Well, as long as human toes stick out in front, and as long as my torso, my upper body, is attached to my lower half, and as long as the radius created by my two hands together is shorter than the radius, the potential radius, of having simply one hand on there by itself, then I'll be far better off to learn to play this shot one-handed. Now, as I've said many times, nothing works unless you practice it first, but this is a shot that simply doesn't occur to so many people. I'm going to get myself, look, I'm on fairly level land. At least I don't have one foot in the bunker. And I can sort of hit this thing back here behind me. It might not be fantastic, it might not be ideal, but at least we have the resourcefulness to be able to hit one-handed because we've practiced that way. Not the very best, but not the worst. Well, it might, right by the hole, it went another 15 feet by, but that's okay. That's better than what I might have done going the other way, okay? And so scenario number one is when you otherwise would have one foot in the bunker and you're completely off balance, try the one-handed shot. Let's get into scenario number two. Okay, and so here's scenario number two. As you can see, I have a golf ball here, and it's right next to this tree. Problem is, once again, the target is that way. Now, a normal right-handed player does what? Stands on this side of the golf ball. But if I'm to hit the ball in a normal way with that tree there, I'm just faced with an impossibility. I can't possibly put a normal swing on it. And then the issue with most people is they try something like this. They take their club and say, oh, yeah, I can hit it left-handed. I used to be a switch hitter in baseball, turn my club upside down. And because that alters the club face angle so much, the shot they hit, mostly because they don't practice it, and they chose the exhilarating rather than the smart, the ball just flies God knows where. And then the other thing someone might do is take an unplayable lie. Well, I don't like that either because you lose the distance, you lose a shot, and it'd be far simpler to use the shot that I'm about to show you here. And that is stand opposite with your rear end in the direction of where you'd like the ball to go. And here I am, I'm standing straight with it, and I'm going to take sort of a hammering move. This looks a little bit like I'm driving a 6-penny nail into a 2x4, right? That's the move, and it's not much more than that. And if you practice this, you'll figure out about how hard to swing. And so I've got it here. This ball is dead even with my toes. I'm going to take a couple of relaxation-inducing, confidence-inspiring practice swings to get my bearings. And once I've done that, and I can clearly picture a good result, the next thing is to simply fire. Now that's not terrible. It's on the green, and certainly maybe it's a B+, but that's a whole lot better than I chose the exhilarating rather than the smart. And so in closing here, there are some shots that you'd be well served to practice that you would perform with one hand, and most often your more dominant hand. I can't think of a situation that you would actually on the golf course practice using your left hand, but hit those two shots, the one next to the bunker where you're really spreading out and trying to knock it back in play, and then also that one that's right behind you, and most often because of a tree here. I know that will help you. I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.